morning. Welcome to day 7 or day 8. I don't know. I think it's day 8. Or day 7. Who knows? I'll have it correct in the title. And we got a Kaylee out here. I'm moving slow this morning. I didn't get out of bed till about 8. And I just sat downstairs and spaced out on TV. So it's about 9:30 or so, roughly. Well, yesterday's work. We finished you off over here. This is going to be Swan's display where all the tubes are going to be hanging down. Got a lot of the partitions up. I still need to do a wall heading that way. And I need to come over this way a little bit. And that's as far as I'm going to be able to go until I can get this parked and we're done with work. We'll mess around over there today. Later today, hopefully. Get the last bit of the partitions up. We'll get some bracing done. And we'll get some skinning done too. Hopefully. It all depends on this area here. First order of business. Notice the wiring there. I gotta get in here, wire up all these panels. Get everything wired up. I've got fencing to do here and on the back side of the tree. And we need another fence panel in over here. And then from about there all the way over and down to there, I need to get it roofed. But I can't do that until I get the wiring done, which is what we're going to work on first. Which means I need to get my wire, my connectors, and my tools out here. And then we're going to have some fun and see how much of a knotted mess we can make with the wiring. So, going to get going with that now. Breakfast of the day. Sorry, I was trying to unplug a cord one-handed. Breakfast of the day. Toast with butter, 3 fried eggs, and some milk. There's your breakfast of the day. Now I'm going to put the camera down, get my stuff, and get going because that wiring takes forever. So let's get going and see where we can get. Alright, chain hallway maze is done. Just finished. And it's almost dinner time. But I just finished putting the fencing in, which is the last thing that goes in. So we'll have a display here. And it's either going to be the bride and groom or Bart the butler. And I'm not sure which. And they come around here. And like I said, this corner here will make a great scare thing. They can reach around the corner and grab people as they're coming in. And they come around over here. And it's either going to be Bart the butler or the bride and groom. Depending on which one I put over by the tree. But I did get the roof on. That'll protect this area pretty much from drips. Somewhat. It will focus the water to run down toward the house and hit the ground and soak in that way instead of puddling. And we got a Kaylee sauntering on through as she disappears on camera. I did not continue the roofing all the way out to here. I figured this was good enough. They can get dripped on a little bit. But weed our way back through. That leaves us with that display that we started last night. I need to check my maps. I know this is supposed to kind of zigzag out onto the driveway and hit the exit arches and gates. But I have another small display somewhere in here. I'm not sure where, so I'm going to need to double check before I do any more partition walls. But once I get that figured out, we got partition walls to put in, I've got bracing to put in, and then I may grab some of the skins and get out here and start getting this skinned. And one problem with skinning this area. I made up brand new panels this year for this display, and they're like the chain hall. They've got lights in them, which means I'm going to have to wire them. And then I've got a section of roofing that goes in between that wall and the big tent. So I may have more light work to do. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Pie of the day. We're going old-fashioned. A Dutch apple pie, fresh out of the oven. A scoop of vanilla ice cream with a little bit of chocolate sauce drizzled over the top of both, and some whipped cream. Okie dokie, last segment of the day. Just a little after 8:30. Been working on Swan's display. They come in from the graveyard there and they'll do a zigzag into a display, zigzag out here, and then they'll go out for one more zag on the driveway, which is next week. I've also got all the bracing in, across the top of the walls, in the corners. We are now ready to skin. I'm going to skin everything I can in here up to the driveway. And there's a problem. The skins I made for this have LEDs embedded in them, which means, like the chain hall, I'm going to have to wire them. That's probably going to take most of the day tomorrow, just getting the skins up and getting them wired, though I won't have as many skins to do. Let me get cleaned up and we'll do the end of the day wrap up. Ram feels like rambling. Okay, end of the day wrap up, and for once Kaylee is in her spot. That's because she was out here just a little bit ago and went over to the garden. Found out she wasn't looking for the neighbor's dog. There's a patch of wild grass growing over there, and she likes chewing on it. So she's been going over and getting a couple of mouthfuls while I'm doing the wrap up. Anyway, as to today, started out in the chain hallway doing the lights, and it took damn near all day long. All because of that stupid bush, or not bush, but tree. Most of the walls had limbs on them, so I was having to fight the tree to get in to find the wiring to make my connections. It took forever. But we finally did get that done. Got the roofing done over underneath the eave of the house, and which also ended up covering one of the displays. The other display is going to be protected by the tree, I hope. Got the fencing up over there too. Swan has walked it and approved it. Morgan came out and raked it. There was twigs and stuff all over the place from me moving around the bush. You know, the dead, some of the dead twigs and stuff were breaking off and falling off. It was very unsafe to walk over there barefoot. Then we came over here, worked on Swan's display, got the last of the partitions up, got the bracing done. So tomorrow we are ready to skin and possibly wire some of those panels up. I'm hoping I can get both done tomorrow. That way I can get started on the next display. This one here with the partitions in it, that's Clown. And that's a pretty straightforward area. The Hammering Clown's going in underneath that tent. So I basically got to get the back wall done and the projector screen wall that goes in right here, and run a stub wall out. Then it's skinning. Really straightforward and easy, I hope. The one thing I am going to have to work on when I'm working on the Clown is I need to do a secret door so I can get in back behind the bush here to turn on projectors and mess with wiring. And there she goes. But she left her baby with me, Miss Kitty. But yeah, no, this is our mechanical room back here. I need some way of accessing it to get to wiring, the projectors, speakers, that sort of thing. And I normally do it on the back of that wall right there. You know, I hinge that panel and, you know, have it, you know, on hinges, you know, so I can open and close. Problem is, there's a corner right there. It's not a flat wall clear out to the tent leg like it normally is, so I cannot hinge that panel. Which means I'm going to need to put it on this flat side somewhere, and it depends on where the Hammer and Clown is, or not, yeah, the Hammer and Clown is sitting and how big the pond is. I need to be, because that's all fenced in when we're open, and I can't hinge a panel right there and get into it if there's a fence there. So I'm going to have to kind of take a look at it, but I think there is a fence there. I'll have to figure something out. There's a way of doing it one way or the other. Just a matter of getting to it. Past that, first order of business tomorrow is going to be the car. I've got to get this car parked down where my trailer is, up against the garage, get it out of the way, because I need to move those partitions out here on the driveway right where the car is sitting. I was planning on moving that car on Friday or Saturday, one of the two, and it looks like I'm going to have to do it tomorrow, because it's taking longer and longer to get in to get things. I have to come all the way out and around the car to get to where I need to be, so it just needs to be moved. So I'll do that first thing in the morning when there's hardly no traffic out on our street from the businesses. Businesses don't open until around 10 o'clock, though people start showing up at 9, and they're known for opening up at 8:30, even though their posted hours are 10. If there's people waiting, they'll open up. I can't bitch. I do the same damn thing with mine. You know, our market starts at 10, and we're opening and selling at 8:30. I actually make more money in between 8:30 and 10 than I do from 10 until, what, noon? The market runs 10 to 3, and from noon to 3 it's dead down there usually. I mean, we still do sales, but the main crowd comes early to get all the good stuff, and by noon there's not much left. So it's a little easier. But with that, I think I am going to call it quits. And I need to go in. First order of business is to get a shower in. I need one badly after battling that tree yesterday and today. And then we'll get you guys edited and uploaded. So stay spooky, stay toxic.